My name's James Waldron. I'm a GP working in Bulwell in Nottingham, and also work as an associate with the Nottinghamshire Alliance Training Hub, as well as the Phoenix programme. Well, we're all in rather uncharted waters at the moment, and a lot of people will be returning back to work, perhaps after a little bit of time off. And one of the main things that have changed is the IT systems, and hopefully today I'm going to share with you some tips and some of the changes to help you navigate some of the new systems. There'll be some stuff here that you know, some stuff that hopefully will be a bit new, but with any luck I can share you some helpful things. So first things first, a really helpful thing is some quick keys. F10 brings up a quick patient search, save you a second or two then. And if you press F6, that also saves your patient. So just bring back up Donald Duck. The first thing to do is to show you some auto consultations. They can save a really large amount of time and can be really helpful to get through things quite quickly. Right, so the first thing you do is essentially start your consultation, go to auto consultation, and we've got lots of different ones set up here. One of the main ones I use is the safety net advice, because there's obviously a lot of things that we would tell people that that might take a little while to type, and especially if you're not a quick typer, this can save you loads of time. And you can set them up depending on which consultations you do very frequently. One of the main ones I use is the pediatric illness, which, as you can see here, provides the advice that we would ordinarily tell parents of unwell children about things to look out for, and about what to do if they find something out like that out. Probably a minute and a half of typing that you've saved yourself, and you can do it for all kinds of stuff. And as you can see here, I've got ones for chest pain, depression, respiratory, and that sort of thing as well. Also, you can get it so it prescribes medication for you, so anticipatory medications, common medications as well. We'll look at things like when you have things that you really need to tell people about, for instance, Zopiclone, or starting an SSRI and things to expect. Now, of course, one of the more topical aspects of this is with respect to the COVID situation, and I've put lots of different read codes here. For instance, low risk, where you can see that we've taught the current advice for what to do with low risk, and you can add in anything else that that comes up as the advice changes, as well as other things, just to remind us with respect to note keeping later on, that we've taken this consultation in the time of the outbreak. So something that can be really helpful. Now, you can set up your own. You can do it as a practice. You can set up your own if you want, and I'll show you how to do that. So you go to Setup, Workflow Support, and then Automatic Consultations. And you can see here that there are lots of different ones that we've done. You click on New, and then you can add whatever it is that you want, and then it's available. Add a funky little icon to help you remember, and then certainly tell your practice about it, so that you know that you're seeing from the same hymn sheet. You can adjust things as well. If you amend them, you can add things like a note, a read code can be very helpful to make sure things are coded properly. Acute medication, you do a prescription that would automatically be done. Of course, make sure you check after you've done a prescription or something like this. And essentially that's where we would start. So I'll just close it down, go back to Mr. Duck. So hopefully that was quite helpful with respect to auto consultations. Another really helpful thing, if your practice is set up, is that you can do text messages. I've got lots of different presets here for talking therapy, stop smoking services, and different counselling things, which can be texted directly to the phone after you close down a patient's notes. Saves lots of time, also saves paper and trees, and I suppose reducing the contact, sort of paper contact with people. So this can be really, really helpful. And if other people have done it in your surgery, you can go to copy from another user, find your other user, and then pinch them onto your own. So that can save a bit of time too. But I use this all of the time, and I highly recommend it. So you basically double click on this, and then click OK, and it'll get sent off. Okay. Right, so that was auto consultations and auto text messaging, if you like. Next thing would be quite helpful is the F12 key. Now that's something that's come along quite recently, and it is a bit of a repository in Nottingham and South Notts for all the information about referrals and 2-week waits and guidelines, and it's updated very frequently. It can be really, really helpful. So I'll take you through it. First thing to do is get it set up. Press the F12 key, as you might expect. And then what you need to do is add on the two things, pathfinders and data templates. So if you type in F12 here, RP, grab Pathfinder and drag it over to whichever letter you choose. I've gone for A, okay, and then you drop it there. And then the other one would be data templates, and take that and drag that to B, or whichever one you fancy. Once you've done that, okay, you then can just press F12, A, and then the guidelines jump up. Now, it may look a little bit daunting to start off with, but it is arranged alphabetically, and there is lots of really helpful information there that you can have. And as an example, we can go to hepatology, and we can see that we can access the full hepatology guidelines at the hospital. We can look at BARD score calculators. One of the really helpful ones, the LFT guidelines flowchart, which we can click on, and will take us to the guidelines. You're going to have to take my word for it on this format. I can't show you, but it takes you directly to it, which is really helpful. And you can also do new referral tasks here, which you could then task to your secretaries, if you like, requesting a urgent or referral or something like this. So that can be a good way of managing workflow. So that's that one. The other thing that's really helpful as well is the 2-week cancer and 2-week wait pathways that can help. And so again, it's set out very nicely here, but also along the top, and gives you the guidelines for what to do. So for instance, if we go to, okay, of course we can't do that because it's Donald Duck is a fella. But if we went to, for instance, if we went to rapid colorectal, it gives you all of the different situations and which test you need to order. You can request the test through it as well, the fit test. And then you can also do the referral through this as well. So the RCCD form here too. And this is the same with all of them, that they're also the guidelines as well of what you need to refer. Here again, so cancer less likely, cancer more likely. And it can be a really helpful thing to go through with the patient as well, because you can show if they, if they're trying to reassure them, you can show them why they don't meet the criteria or why they might meet the criteria. So that's really helpful. What else? So through things here, you can do DS1500, DS1500 forms here, end of life and EPACs, coroners and death reporting guides. So that's all there available as well. You can also get to your GP COG and your GAD7, your PHQ9s as well. And again, that loads up the different forms that you might need. So that's good. And then also in your consultation, it will add a read code to show that you've used the F12 key. Equally, if you want to access some of these things, if you want to say, you can go down to this menu down here, the search features, type in GPCOG, and then you can bring that up as well. And that can save you a little bit of time. And they have Epworth there, they have the GP cog, all kinds of bits and pieces. So hopefully quite helpful. And then you fill this in and of course puts it into your Systm1. A lot of this stuff has been available for a while, but maybe some tips that you haven't considered before. So F12. One thing to mention that I think the system is a little bit different in North Notts and Newark. What I'll do is I'll look into that and hopefully produce another video with a little bit more information or an information sheet for that. Right. Well, those are the main things for this at the moment. Actually, a few other things that we can think of. Few more quick keys. Pressing. So if you look at your keyboard, next to the right control button, there's a little, looks like a sheet of paper. If you press that, you can bring up read codes straight away, and you can enter them into your diagnosis, which is really good. Okay, and then essentially you could write in, if you wanted to write in asthma, for instance, you can then bring that up and add that into your documentation straight away. Quick as that. Okay, much quicker with the, I'm working from home at the moment, so a little bit slower, but that can be really helpful too. So hopefully a few helpful things there. Another thing can be quite helpful, drawings. You can choose, you can write where people might be having pain and change the color of it as well. Or even change the color of it as well to annotate where people are having, so a really good way to communicate. Again, a feature that I understand a lot of people haven't found, but might be helpful to you. Right. So another thing I might show you, and again, this is sort of in its infancy, it's something I haven't used so much of, but just to show you, is something called AccuRx, which we've been using. And this is a way of giving some video consultations. Now, I'm not sure whether this will continue in the future, but it's certainly something that's an option now. It's this little box here, which I hope you can see. And essentially, to arrange a video call, the way I've been doing this is in a phone call, especially from home. I've been asking if they'd like to change the video, if you want to see people, check the breathing, check the way people look, and actually have a lot of that physical communication that sometimes can be missed. So you click on this little camera thing. Once it's associated to Systm1, it inserts it directly into your the number directly in here, and then essentially when you click send and save, it will send a text message to the person, which would then send them a message that they can click into. So what I might do, Donald Duck, and then that's sent. So that will send a message to the patient, which in this case is me. So let's wait for that text message to come through. So it says comes through from your GP surgery here. I can show you that. Okay, and then you click on the link. So you can see, so it says patient. Well, I mean, you'd be able to see me, so patient/me. Okay, and then on your screen, alternatively, you can text yourself the number, and you can use it on your own video device. So that's another option, and it can give you a lot of info about what you're doing, so it'd be a really good thing to do. You could also send a message to yourself, which will allow you to use your own device to connect anonymously to your patient, so that you can do that out and about. You can do that from home, and can be a really good thing. I think I can show you. And you'll be able to see me. So this is in the other webcam. So this is what the doctor would be able to see. But equally, you've got to be careful with the feedback. So have a little play, maybe do a dry run with your colleagues. I hope there's a few things that you've learned from this and refreshed your mind in a few others, a few little tips and tricks of things that are moving at quite a pace. I'll try and produce a few more videos for support here, but if there's anything that you want, anything that you think would be really helpful, please let me know. You can follow us on Facebook and us on Twitter. I'll pop the notes in the description. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and let's all get through this together. Take care.